looking for answers about extraterrestrials or maybe the true meaning of life, then you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Ivan Teller online broadcast. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and for more details, please visit ivanteller.com and learn more about galactic families.
Well, thank you for joining us for tonight's channeling. It's a little bit open at this time. There's after the last one, it was Sunday, there was a Sirian race connected to crystal cities. I think they're probably going to come through. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I think it's on Sirius B also. I didn't feel C. I felt more B. So I don't know the message. I don't know anything about it. So just go with the flow. And what was the other request for the Egyptian? I forgot.
Osiris.
Osiris. I got a lot going on in my mind. Osiris. Okay. Fill that. Okay.
Could you also do a blue Pleiadian or Lyran if they're willing to speak?
Okay. All right. We'll see what comes through. So, I've just posted a video about John Edmonds. He lives in Arizona, and he was on Project Camelot. He lives on a vortex where grays are coming through and messing with his livestock, with his animals, with his horses, and he even had a picture of a gray also. So I plan on moving there one day. I just want to let everybody know. Not soon enough though, but yeah, it's kind of a tourist attraction, kind of. But yeah, and this is a site. This guy's a therapist too. Like aliens are like the last thing. He's already doing therapy for people that see ghosts, and that calls them crazy, and then he's seeing all that. So perfect person to go through that. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. And it's worth a look at, that's for sure. It's on Project Camel. I didn't put the link of the video, but you should be able to find the video out there. So anyway, it's pretty awesome. So one of these days, I'll be going out of town at the end of March, but I'm not going there, but I like to. But anyway, blessings all, and see you on the other side, and we'll see who comes through. Greetings. I'm Osiris. Thank you for asking me to join you today, this evening, your morning, your good night. We are not spoken with very often. Not in a public. We are usually in your religions, in your quiet religions that aren't very popular, but many still do worship us. Many still ask us for guidance. But we are assisting with your Earth's energies, with your Earth's ascension, with what we hope for your world to learn from our mistakes. Many of your old gods are still here in their true form. If you're wondering about my extraterrestrial connections, it's more Palladian, more blue Palladian, because of their thought patterns, their kindness. Well, other Palladians were sometimes of too much complexities. It has made life easier. You could say vacation world on the blue Palladian worlds. Someone did ask for blue Palladian, so I could say I'm the same. At this time, I am in spirit, but I'm connected to many star systems. Lyra, Taurus, all these different star systems, Orion, sometimes. It is just this Earth, as it goes through its ascension, we understand that some wish to move it along into a more awareness of what it is. And that is quite fascinating to us, especially when you take risks into mentioning what your belief systems are, or most will call you crazy. Continue your craziness, please. This world needs a break, doesn't it? Doesn't it need to know what it is when you think so? For the most part, yes, but many do not want to hear it. They are in denial of the truth of this reality, and this will come out eventually. It takes time. Are there questions? Please make yourself known.
Yes, the first question we have is from a day.
Hi, Osiris. How are you? Thank you for coming
Thank you.
through.
I am doing well, thank you.
First, I want to ask about your how you died. Was it that your brother that had you killed, or how did that happen?
Through assassination, many tired of my ways, my way of looking at life, my power, my ignorance at times. They got tired of me. I wasn't always seeing the big picture. Sometimes it's just too arrogant to realize my surroundings, too arrogant to realize who my friends were, who are not truly my friends. So it was through assassination, through a group of friends that were not very friendly. So my brother was associated with these people, so that did not help my situation all too much.
Were you also married to Isis?
Yes, but for a brief time. Most of that was not recorded correctly. Yes.
Okay. My next question is, I feel like I have a connection with you, and I believe I do.
Yes.
Did we have a past life together, or did you just channel through me in the past?
We've had past lives before my incarnation on this planet. At least before that incarnation that you're mentioning. We've had times in Atlantis where we knew each other, we were very close. This is where we met, was in Atlantis. After that, we knew each other on Worlds briefly, but we always knew each other somehow. We found a way to always say hello to each other, let's put it that way.
Yes, I think you have been around me lately, if
Oh,
I'm not
yes.
mistaken.
Oh, yes, by far, yes. Because familiar energies helps, especially when you're going through a channel state. It is nice to have a friendly face around, you could say.
Yes, and I wanted to also ask you about the necklace.
Yes.
How can I get it back?
One moment, I must connect. It will take time. All I know is it will take time to manifest this back into your own hands. There's many detractors there keeping it from you at this time. But we'll eventually come back to you, but will take time. But that is not 100% either. There are reasons why it is not with you at this time. I do not know those reasons. Yes, go ahead, please.
Sorry, is there another way for me to, oh, like maybe if I get something similar to the necklace? Because I believe I have a description of it. Or is there another way I can connect?
No, that is correct. You can, yes, find something that resonates with you. Yes, you are correct.
Okay. Thank you. I love you for coming. That's all I have for now.
Oh,
Blessings.
Okay, Miguel, you're next.
Hello, Osiris.
hello.
I have 3 questions for you. Do I have a connection with you?
Yes, in spirit, we have many lifetimes together. Yes, I just said that. You don't hear that very often, do you, on your planet? But yes, we had many incarnations in spirit. That is the way I like to put it. Yes, we've had many run-ins with each other, working with angels, healing individuals one by one. Usually we work together with those that are on, they hit their lowest point. We will work together many lifetimes in spirit, but I will mention spirit this time. There are other lifetimes, but they are not important at this time. Cool.
Okay,
That's
thank
all.
you. My next question is related to what you said. So how can gods die, and how did that happen?
Belief systems changed. Your world changed. War is usually the changer of your world. War was an elimination of gods. When you take out those of supporters of a certain religion, your god goes away eventually. Especially when you call propaganda to give you a new god, as you see throughout your history. When they say this god's better than yours, and then they have wars over this. So your history does not always write down why certain gods get forgotten, but mostly it's through war. They do not mention this in your history books for a good reason. That's all.
I understand. And my third question is, can you tell us a little bit about Egypt and what it was like living in that period?
There was a time when it was not of a slave race. It was a time of purity, of love, of growth. It was a time of your Atlantean knowledge that was there. Great healing. In some ways, it was like Lemuria. In some ways, it was its own Lemuria. It was a utopia that your history has long forgotten, as you can tell. When they say slaves built your pyramids, they are saying this to just tell you all where you belong. Aliens do not exist. They made sure that aliens are wiped off your universe, your planet universe, I should say, your galaxy, wiped out completely. As for history, but it was a very loving time at one time in your past. It was, everyone was equal for a while at least, before the forces appeared. But even gods were seen. Yes, the thing about your gods is that many Wyrans, male Wyrans, or I should say human Wyrans, sorry. Because most of your gods are male, but not all. But male and female Wyrans that are humanoid were seen as God because they were seen on spaceships and things of that sort. That is true. They are seen as above everyone, which is not true. Well, yes, more advanced in certain areas, but seen as more important than others, and where your people needed someone to worship, unfortunately. And your felines were there also, and they were feeling the same treatment. And this caused a trouble, an issue with your Egypt. So many of the aliens had to leave, extraterrestrials. Some of us stayed to live normal lives in some regard. But for some reason, this is when your Egypt started to change, where materialism became important instead of just spiritual knowledge, where your emperors started to appear as the pharaohs appeared to change all of that. But it was at a time of a utopia, reptilian, extraterrestrials. It was not a perfect place, far from it. But it was an electrifying time compared to it is today, where man and alien were among each other and spoke to each other. Even your man that is now in this third density was connected to extraterrestrials and understood them. But for a while, near you could say, the end, when they became more human to human, but they could not connect to aliens any longer. It was not, they had to worship them. This idea would not leave them, and it consumed the masses. And this is where you do not have your aliens anymore and your invisibility. But this is your ancient Egypt, though. That is all I have for you at this time.
Thank you. And I do have one question from Bianca. I don't know if you can connect to this, but she was asking what is happening in California, and if there are people doing experiments to lower the vibrations of the in the state of California, in the Fresno area.
That is true. There's a Sirian that will come through after my visit. He will go through that more clearly. That is not my area, I can say.
Thanks, Osiris. Thank you for coming. Much love.
Much love.
Okay, Jeff, you're next.
All right, thank you. Just one question, that is, do you have any messages for me, and have we had any past lives or things like that together?
Past lives, only briefly. I believe you lived in the same town in certain eras of your world. I will leave you with that. As for messages, your guides, one moment. They say much clarity is opening up in your future. You will be able to visualize your future more clearly, connect to it, understand it more, make it more a reality, things that you want, things that you need. You are doing this now, but it'll become more stronger over time because you're becoming more aware of your surroundings, so you're becoming more powerful. But it does take time. Everything takes time. You're becoming more aware of manifestation. That is what your guides have said at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Amy, you're next.
Hi, Osiris. I have one question. I was told by another entity through this conduit that I had a connection with Cleopatra in the Egyptian times. Is that around the same time you were around, or later, or earlier?
My energy was around. I was no longer around. But I
Could
was
you?
there in spirit, yes.
Okay,
Yes, go ahead.
sorry. Could you
Does.
elaborate on my connection with Egypt and Cleopatra and the Nubians?
I cannot go into the Nubians, but I can go into your Egypt. You had many lifetimes, even during my time in the ancient Egypt, where I was in the physical form during your alien past, that you have mostly forgotten for reasons that are for good reason. It is not needed at this time
Right.
because it makes life too complicated to know too much sometimes. It depends on there's just certain lessons that you need to know, but those lessons have been learned through recent lifetimes. So, but your life with Cleopatra, that was a big learning, a growing up lifetime, a lifetime of understanding the small things matter, the little things matter, where money and richness was surrounding you constantly, and your disconnect from reality, from society, became over. It overwhelmed you because it was hard to connect to society. Same as it was for your Antoinette in some ways, different times, but there's a disconnect there also.
Yes. Um, did
Yes.
I, was I, did I, commit crimes or help Cleopatra with her deception and, maybe, bad things?
For a moment. I do not believe so. You were self-obsessed, but not in a bad way, meaning you
Right.
were not causing harm to others. I do not see that.
Okay.
Others might connect to other energies. I do not see that. But not understanding humanity, not caring for it, not caring for those of poor became a problem for a while.
Okay.
So
Um,
now you're getting clarity of that in other lifetimes and this one that you're living in.
okay. Do you have any final messages for me?
Give me a second to connect. Your Weirin family is very close to you at this time. They are moving into a more positive direction. They are assisting you, but you are allowing their assistance. You're going to see things more clearly in your life, more understanding. And connections with your mother also. More understanding of her situation and helping her heal. Much healing is needed there. And that healing will take time because she's not one to let go of many things in her past. But your assistance, your wisdom will help her heal and have a more positive outlook on your day.
All right, great.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason.
Hello, Osiris. Much love to you.
Much love.
So can you speak a little bit on the pyramids? If we are in third density today, let's say, what density were the pyramids constructed in? Like fourth density, third, and astral. What density were they constructed in? The Great Pyramid, I guess.
They were, one moment. They were constructed in your third density using fourth density technologies to make this happen.
With respect to levitation and such?
Yes. Different types of technologies. One moment. One moment. I'm being connected. Being contacted. There was different levels of where it was at. Parts of it were in fourth density, some of it was in third density. There was different aspects of your pyramids, and they're all put into one at one time. One moment. Yes, go ahead, please.
Can you speak on on the nature of its outer covering? I think it was and its function. Is that?
One moment. It was an outer coating of white around it. This coating was not known at this time. It is not a substance that is familiar to your world at this time. It is no longer on your world at the moment. Is there any other questions?
Sure. And its original intended use, was that for? Was more spiritual purposes, correct? Or was that also balancing purposes related to the Earth itself?
Most of it was, when it was created, it was to balance the planet, to keep it on its axis. Even that was... One moment. There's much distraction here. One moment. This sage that is in here is consuming this room. I cannot breathe anymore. It is becoming... One moment. Let me exit and reconnect once this is taken care of.
Thank you.
Fascinating. There is much around here causing much of this. Yeah, it's burning like crazy. I'll be back.
Yeah, you better get the fire extinguisher.
Open a window.
Well, I guess I got Usually it burns out, but just kept going and going and going. It'll be okay. No, it's fine. I'm just playing.
Oh my God, I believed you.
No, it's fine.
Dark.
The windows are open. It looks like it's a fire, but it's not. It's just
Yeah,
smoke.
it was. You could see it coming. It was.
You might
Yeah.
want to get more water, Ivan.
It'll be all right. No, I'll survive. Been through worse. It'll be okay. Yeah, so I got in my interference. Well, that's the end of that. Jeez.
I thought my situation was rubbing off on you.
Maybe it is. Maybe Donald Trump will show up after this.
If he does, it's totally on you.
Oh. It's just a smoky room, that's all. Well, at least around me, at least it's not as bad as it was. So I have a fan on, so that's helping a little bit. But the windows are open, so eventually it'll clear out. Okay, all right, that will help with the connection now. I saw some of it burning. It's like, oh great. So that kind of didn't help with the connection at all. So okay, he's still here. So we'll go back. Yeah, I feel him laughing too. That's pretty funny. I have returned. Greetings. This is an impossible situation here. There's also many entities here that are not helping the situation, but it is all good. It is all fine and well.
Welcome back, Osiris.
Thank you.
This is a Jugatron. Just one last question. Do we have any a connection, past lives or?
Yes. On Palladian planets, usually we friends, even brothers, but this was such a long time ago. Chances of remembering this isn't very high. But we've also had canine lifetimes together. Wonder if you knew about that one.
No, I didn't.
This is when your Sirius constellation.
Those weren't rough times, were they?
No.
That was a
Those
joke.
actually- Yes, that's funny. Oh yes, but they weren't. But yes, that's funny. That is all I have for that.
Well, thank you very much. I'll let the next person go. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you. Much love.
Okay, my name's Joe. I had a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
I know I'm connected to Egypt, and we don't have to go into that. It's not for public information. But I was wondering if I was ever a pharaoh or a royalty member of the Egyptian culture.
Yes, but you said you're not one to mention this past, but
Well, there's you know what I'm talking about.
I
There's
can go
certain
into journal. Yes, I understand. Yes, you're a general of any soldiers during that time. Yes.
do you have a name that I was called? Like,
Not at this time, no. I cannot connect.
oh, okay. And I was wondering what our connection is, if we have any past lives.
We went through combat together in past lives on this planet. During your Middle Ages, we've had lifetimes together. We've known each other, but not very close. But we did know each other. It was not a close relationship, a friendship. But we did know each other and pass a few jokes around here and there.
Oh, okay, very good. The next questions I have are from the member questions. The first one, his name is Gifford. He wants to know, can you tell me if and what chakras I have opened and aligned?
Your yellow chakra is open. Your orange chakra is closed. I know that was not your question. Your heart chakra needs much healing. Your third eye is opening well. Your crown chakra is very open, which is very nice. It is very aligned. It needs work, but it is very aligned. One moment. Your root chakra also needs work at this time. But I believe you're doing work, but I believe you will understand that once you hear this. That is all I have for that. Thank you.
Okay, his next question, he wants to know where his soul's going to go when he dies.
It will go where you want it to go. I believe your belief systems are on the right track where you will cross over to your other side. Well, you've had many lifetimes where you did not do that, where you kept reincarnating here many, many times, where you got trapped. There are times, ancient times, when you went through the wrong, when they say go into the light, you went to the wrong light. But you'll never do that again. But I do feel that you will go into the right place this time, into your other side of spirit. But you have a version of spirit that is not the same as others because your belief systems are slightly different than others. So you go into the reality that you wish to go through, but it is not a bad one. It is just different. But everyone has their own version of the other side. Some do have similarities there, but not all. But we are all connected. There are all many of us, so we are all there with you. It's just maybe not too easy to explain at this moment, but I believe you understand where I'm going with that.
Okay, and this is the last question from him. What can you tell him about his daughter, Tegan?
One moment. That is a very general question. I'm not sure what they're trying to go into detail with that. One moment. Someone that knows what they want. Very particular. What is your word on your planet? Difficult at times, but loving. After those difficulties, I've been way to rest. But very particular on the things that this person needs. They want certain needs, and sometimes it gets out of hand at times, it seems. But not in a bad way, but just overwhelms the person, I believe. That is all I have for that.
Okay, the next question we have is from Shao. She wants to know, who was the being that came to my room today in the early morning, caused her to wake up more than 20 times? Was that her guide joking with me or a malevolent being trying to attack her?
A blue Palladian that is trying to connect with her, not trying to be negative, but trying to let her know about her future. Some of her mistakes have repercussions, but they're not going to detail these mistakes. They're a message to her to be more family, more connecting to her family. They're getting her attention because they want her to connect with her family more, because there are some areas where she is not fulfilling within her family. She needs to talk to them. I believe she's already close to them, but they're looking for details to push her along because she has a slight disconnect with them at this time. They just want her to know that because it was part of her soul contract to be very close to them, and she's delaying some of that at this time. That is what I am receiving at this moment.
Okay, yeah, she has two more questions. She says, there are many ET races that are actively crossbreeding with other ET races to create many hybrid races. She's interested to know how they keep their race's core essence and genetic uniqueness when they do so.
They do not. They always change. They're always, yes, and they have a responsibility to keep their vibration, their energy levels at a certain rate where they do not change completely. But yes, they're always modifying, but they always keep, you could say, the center together. And that's who they truly are. That's where they came from, their source. They always keep that together. They're always adding and subtracting to their DNA. Not all, but many do at this time. That is all.
Okay, and our final question is, she says, I've noticed that Sirius, Orion, and Pleiades still have a monarchy structure. They have a king, queen, princess, etc. I'm interested to know, firstly, how their royal families are selected, and secondly, do their royal families pass down their thrones by bloodlines or by people's selection?
That is a long story. Some of those worlds ended up with this type of structure because of reptilian influence. Many reptilians were conquerors of those worlds at one time in their past. Just like it is on your world, you have this also. This is where it comes from. Different reptilians, certain agendas, not all bad, some actually positive. But still, it remained this structure. They all have their different ways of doing it. Your Sirius is more community, but they have their similarities even to this world as for bloodlines in some ways, but it's still very much community. It is very much an open ear to your societies. It is still accepting what the people want. But those that want to be in this I was going to say anarchy, which is sometimes it can be. This is something that there are Palladian worlds with this and without it. There are Sirian worlds with this structure and without it. But those are the ones that are with it have many lessons to be learned. And some do have bloodlines. Some do have. It is hard to explain exactly because the DNA is the same as the blood. But a lot of it has to do with certain mindsets. You have a certain mindset, and you are in this family already, so you become king because the way of your thinking, not just because you're the next in line. It's because the way you see the world and way you see others. This puts you in this position. But there's the goal. Yes, this can go on and on for a long time, but this is a quick version of it, which I didn't really answer that question very clearly, but I gave you kind of an idea of it. But I give you this on certain Sirian worlds. Where some of them do still have a reptilian influence, where those in charge are chosen by those of your kingship are chosen by reptilians, not Sirians. And reptilians choose whatever they wish. There are worlds like this, not many, but some, where it has a reptilian domination still, but they're still. It is just a culture of their ways. Palladians do not have this, but Sirians do. This gives you an idea. Yes, there's. I can go on and on with that. Thank you.
Okay, next question we have is from Emmy.
Hello, Osiris.
Hello.
I've read that you are connected with what is considered life-giving power, righteous kingship, the rule of Ma'at. Can you tell me what this all means for you? And with regards to the rule of Ma'at, how do you think it could be applied in our world today? If it's yes, that's the question.
But the rules will not be accepted by your society all that well. There is much neutral information there that your society will not want to be a part of. It will not understand it. A lot of those lessons are in a fourth density ideal system. And your your world is not ready for it. It is wanting to understand, but do not at this time. It is not ready for it.
And another question I have from you is what, seeing our world as it is today, what recommendations would you make for us to improve it? And that is my final question.
After this answer, I must leave. Just so you know, because there's others I want to come through. It is vital they come through. But to answer your question, I would throw your systems out. Throw them all out. Everything. Even your televisions. Your cable television, your propaganda machines, your little boxes of propaganda you have on your planet. You even put them in your cars. I mean, is this how the Egyptians would love these things in your ancient times? To be preached to on a daily basis. Of course, you do have music. Most do listen to music, but even some of that is very preachy. It is very mind-controlling. It is fascinating here. Yes. And many of your ancient times would die for all of these gifts of mind control. So I would say throw all your mind control devices out. And these signals that are in your air that you do not hear, these cell phone signals, all these things will be thrown out of your society. But many would not want to use. Can you imagine that happening on your planet?
We would have telepathy.
Well, that's true, but many would not. Imagine if you just throw out all your electronics that are giving you negative vibrations. Before telepathy, because sometimes you have to get rid of these things for telepathy to be activated, because they're interfering with it. Either way.
Thank you, Osiris.
Thank you. I must be going. Blessings all.
Blessings.
Blessings, Osiris.
There are others that come through that will assist you in your ascension process. I hope you. Yes, all that smoke was very distracting as for my connection, but that is okay. Hopefully, I will be able to connect to you again, or someone in your humanity, on your planet that is not filled with fear, but filled with love.
Yes.
Blessings to you. God bless you all for being on this planet. You deserve so much love, and you are receiving it. Sometimes it's not always to realize that's who you are. Thank you.
Bless you, Osiris. Thank you.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Lily, come here. Bye.
Greetings. I am Sid, a blue Sirian. A Sirian of your 5th density. I am here to give you a vision of your future of your planet. If you must know what I look like, I understand why. I am in a white body, a 5th density body, but very blue skin, dolphin-like skin, but very fragile. I am a very fragile person, meaning that I don't know how to take violence very well, negative emotions I do not handle very well. But this is a positive group. Thank you. I do wear like a blue robe also. Yes, blue is my favorite color. No, it is a color that helps resonate my energies. It changes color as my aura changes, as my vibration changes, and I help lift up others with my vibration, connecting to others. Many of our robes change color. We do talk telepathy. Our world is very quiet. I do not have any hair on my head. I have very large ears. My nose is very small. I have kind of large eyes, big eyes, but it's kind of like a elongated head. It'd be kind of a larger head, like your cone head, not like your cone head. I didn't take that back. Like a larger head, a bald, large-headed person. We do have feet, but we do not touch the ground. We levitate a lot. But the reason we are here, I am here, is to give you an idea of where you are going at this state. You can say I'm connected to the Galactic Federation of Light. This is what your world calls. But I am connected to different agencies in your universe, connecting to your world, because we have many crystal cities on our Sirius B. Sirius B is very large. There are different areas for different cities. Crystal cities are going to be placed on this world in your future. In a long time future. There's no time soon. This will help with your vibration and to connect with your lifetimes, your galactic lifetimes. You can say it'll assist with those that need help assisting into spirituality. Crystal cities will be placed on your planet where your humans can put their hand on it and see their past lives, see their vibration change over time. It's like healing centers in some degree, but you are already healing yourself. For you to see these cities, which are in a 4th density energy, you have to be there to see it. There are some here already, but I cannot say the locations, but they are here on your planet in a higher vibration. But you will eventually be able to connect to it as you clear out. You have a clearing of this density, which will take some time. There are many lessons here to be learned. Many do not want to let go of their Netflix and their television sets. They need these things because they feel like this is their life. Yes, you work and then you watch television. This is your gift. But you have all these gifts that you're not activating at this time. Telepathy, be able to levitate off the ground, be able to move dimensions, be able to move timelines, be able to pass through portals. You have all these abilities, and it is time to reactivate much of this. But it must be done in a collective. This cannot be done. It can be done one by one, single, but it is better that your entire planet becomes more 4th density minded, more positive, more loving to each other. This takes time. But we see that you are going in this direction, but it is a hard change, as we can tell. Belief systems are ingrained into the DNA of your society, but it can be reversed when the time is right. I believe I said enough. Is there any questions out there?
Yes, the first question we have is from a day.
Hi, Sid. Thanks for coming in. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Excellent. My first question is there racism and prejudice in the higher densities?
Of course,
Like
yes.
fourth, fifth?
Yes, but not as negative as it is on your density. Your density is completely negative. Not all, but quite a bit. There is race, yes, there are, it is not mentioned, but there are difference of opinion constantly. There is drama, but at a higher level, you can say. Especially when you're doing reptilians.
How far up does it go? Like all the way to like 8th, 9th, 10th density?
Usually around 5th density, it begins to fade out slightly. But it is still there. It depends on what you want to experience. If you want to experience that, if you want to heal others, then you can go into that realm. You do not have to go there. 4th density is usually filled with much drama, as your world will say. But this drama is sometimes terrifying, sometimes just it is beautiful at times. It has its moments. But as you go into a 5th density level, you leave most of that, but you have the choice to go back. In 6th density, you're more an observer. In 7th density, you have every species has their own different levels of how they do things. It all depends. Some at 12th density still have racism. So it all depends. It's all to say that this density doesn't have it, that one does, is not really that's not being honest about it, because I'm thinking about different races when I'm mentioning this, but all races have some at 12, some at 13 density. No, not many of those, but in your 12th density they even have racism and things of that sort. But it's done so much differently than your planet.
Wow. Okay. My next question is about your planet. Do you have like in your societies belief systems, rituals, anything of that sort?
Oh, of course. Rituals, yes. Belief systems, yes. But there are loving belief systems, not controlled ones like you have on your planet. Your world has many control systems to keep you from being happy, keep you from being fed. It is quite fascinating here. But very ruling. But we do not have these. But we do have belief systems to heal each other, to feed each other. Not one-on-one, but everyone will have enough food, everyone will have enough of what they need to survive on this planet. On our planet, I should say. We do have rituals, parties. We do have dance-a-thons, but not like your world. But I think you'd find it quite humorous if you saw us dancing, but I would leave that for your television set in your future.
And my last question is, when you incarnate into your world, is there a veil?
A veil, can you explain that?
Like here, when we incarnate here, we are kept away. We are kept away from our past lives or who we really are.
Depends. We can have, like your world, have certain past lives activated, some turned off. When you are born, you do not need these past lives, but eventually everything is turned on. It depends. It depends. Everyone's different. It can be, and sometimes you do not need it. Sometimes some species want to know everything, and some choose not to. And individually, some choose not to. So it's all different for everyone. But you can, when you are born, remember everything. You know why you're here. You know what you're here to do. And life is superb. But some would rather have the mystery, which makes their lives a little bit more difficult, but not by much. But it is part of the learning process.
So they make that decision in the spirit world before they incarnate, whether they want to know or not?
Yes, but they can also change their mind as they are being born also. Their minds are still very functioning. They can turn their energy fields on and off. They can change things around even as they're being born.
Fascinating. Thank you. That's all I have. Blessings.
Blessings.
Okay, next question I have is from Melissa. Melissa has a question about her son. The night before last, he heard some things that sounded like a singing bull in his head while trying to sleep. Was this a vortex again or something else? Thank you.
One moment. Can you say that again? It was a bull, you said?
Yeah, like a singing bull.
There is a species there that is not making themselves known at this time. I believe insectoid, that your son is connected to. Yes, it might sound like a bull, but it is more of an insectoid species that is in that area where it can sound off in certain areas and not be heard by others, but heard by your son. This species, they're not making themselves known, but it is a insectoid species that is connected to your son. Not in an abduction way. Oh, in a knowledge way. This is like a lost relative that is sending him downloads information. He might have a curiosity for bugs. He might not now, but when he gets older, I see a curiosity. But as family though. But certain ones, not, and certain insectoids, not all. He will understand this when he gets older. At this time, I did not see it making any sense. That is what I have.
Okay, Jason, you're next.
Hello, Sid. Much love to you.
Oh, thank you.
I have a question for you regarding so-called ascension. I mean, consciousness growth.
Yes.
When ours improves and we gradually ascend, so to speak, as a collective over time, how does that affect your civilization? The more connected you are to us, do you benefit more, or are we all going up no matter what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how does that work?
Some go up, some do not. It all takes time. We do ascend with you. We ascend into a higher density. Where are you going to 4th? We're going to 6th. Some do, not all. It depends on how connected they are to you. It depends on how much DNA you have with that certain species.
So there is a definite relations, like some Sirians who are very connected to us will sort of benefit, you might say, more if they're connected to a component of our society that really ascends.
Correct. But some do not ascend in that regard. They do ascend knowledge-wise, but they still keep their density. Some do ascend into a higher density, but they move back into your density, so they're easier to connect with. It is different. Every species has their own way of doing things, individually also. So this does not mean the species in a whole will change. Individually, they all have their choice of what they like to do.
Thank you. I have a couple more questions. Just last two are actually personal. So a friendly reptilian Novak came through the conduit a week or two ago, and I believe said I have 3 Sirian children, hybrid children. Can you reflect on that, or just give your own opinion? Do you have any Sirian hybrid children?
2 females, 1 male is what I'm connecting to. These are they're in their teenage years, but that can mean like 30 or 40 years old. They're connected to you. They had lifetimes with you on this planet, and they are now hybrid children of you, but connected to you, giving to the Sirian society. They're assisting you at this time with your ascension, your awakening, such as connecting to this situation here where you're learning more about yourself and others that are around that you connect with, that open up your spiritual world. But this is not just helping you in your spirit world, but spiritual center. It's also helping you with your community, those you talk with. It's improving it. Even if you might not notice it completely, but it is there, improving your relaxation with others. It is already there, but you're becoming more relaxed, and it's becoming easier to talk to others. At least that's what they say.
That's great. When did that transpire from my standpoint? Like, and was that done astrally, or was that missing time, or how did that work?
Astral. You can say one day well, this is not totally correct. You felt like having type of choice. This was a contract you had that eventually was activated over time. I believe it was astral, but you do also have missing time. Sometime in your adulthood, I am not given. Around your 20s, I am given. I believe. But it was very short. It was. I'm not even sure if you even noticed that you had missing time, but there was some.
Thank you very much. And one last personal question. Can you speak, I'm trying to learn more about my soul or my souls. Can you speak a little bit on, do I have one soul or do I have like braided soul?
Well, you have one soul, but you have different aspects of you. You say there's several of you everywhere. Different kinds of you. You can say some like chocolates, others like vanilla. Some like war, some like peace. It's different versions of you, but they're all you. They're different experiences of you. This is an experience of you.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Yes,
I mean,
go ahead.
like the consciousness stream, right? Because like when they talk about DNA infusions and
Yes.
such, isn't some of that really related to just consciousness streams to some extent that influence how one thinks? Or, I mean, maybe not.
It's assisting with your body function, how your soul is interacting with your body. Not necessarily. It's helping your soul work your body. That is what it's there for. You already have these things. It's just assisting your soul connecting to you, to your meat suit, as some will call. Because sometimes your body is not adapting well to your DNA, your genetics. When you have alien DNA in a body and human DNA, and your soul is trying to work all of these things, it is not always functioning properly. Many do have mental illness on this planet. Not to say infusions help with that, but they do in some degree. But it is helping your soul operate your body. So, yes, all this is in your soul, yes. But it's just giving little passageways within your body's cell material for you to work the machine, you could say. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but I'm asking because of the whole starseed concept, which I'm just trying to nail in on, and...
Oh, that is your soul, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say, is like, are there... It seems like in some cases, a person may have souls that are wound together to make one soul.
Yes, well, you are your soul, but you have all these different experiences, and you wish you connect, bring these experiences with you, such as Zeta, wherein you want to bring these with you, so that makes you into a star seed or tri-star seed, or sometimes you're more one species than another, but you're bringing that knowledge with you. Think of it as knowledge. So you're carrying this knowledge as wrapped up with you as you come into this world. I hope that makes some sense.
Yes, it does. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. I'll let others ask questions now. Much love.
Hello, my name's Joe. I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, first of all, I really respect your race. I feel connected to your species.
Thank you.
My first question is, I would like to connect sometime with my parallel incarnation, or you call them aspect, my Sirian one.
Yes, he is around you at times. There's also a female aspect of you that is around to assist you because you're in hard times. You can say you need all the help you can get. They are giving you help. They're just not making themselves known at this time. But they are around. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I actually forgot my other question, so I'm going to move on to the next person. Next person is Miguel.
Hello, Sid.
Hello.
I have a few questions for you. My first question is, what can we do to activate our gifts, like psychic abilities and all the things you mentioned?
It takes time. It's individually. It is all different. Your soul activates a lot of your gifts when you're ready. When you're going through these tests, you can say you go up a grade as you do in your school over time. But it is good to have a spiritually clean mind, where you do not have negativity that's bearing on you all the time, which is quite difficult here at times. There's many things here to bring down your vibration, so you must find ways. This is up to you. You all individually have power to raise your vibration, to connect to your sun energy, to bring your sun energy down, surround you, and give you energy to help this negative energy escape your body, so you can live a more positive existence on this planet. So I recommend sun energies, but to also be around crystals, your quartz, whatever it is. That stones are very good to help energize your field, your energy field, to give you hope and desires to help you manifest. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does very much. Thank you. My other question is, what percentage is my third eye open?
It's at 30%, but it is very close to being 40. Your crown chakra is around 20%, but that is actually quite a bit. It is. They're working together, because if they open up too fast, it'll be too much for you. But at this time, it's at a reasonable percentage at this time for your current state, you could say.
Okay, I understand. And my third question is, what are your crystal cities made of? What material is it? Just glass, or what kind of material?
Crystals that can, powerful crystals, glass. No, nothing like that. It is a material that is not on your world at this time. You did have them in your Atlantis at one time, something similar, but not exactly. It is a crystal that is, you can say in some ways like your quartz in some regard, but much stronger. There's no element here to describe it by. But these crystal cities cannot be damaged easily. They are, you can say, damage proof. They send out much vibrations. They are much alive. They bring our world to life. You can say, in some ways, like our heart center in some ways. It keeps our vibration at a higher velocity. Even though they do not want their vibration high, it assists them anyhow. But that's another story for that. That is all I have. Hopefully that helps.
Thanks, Sid. And there was a question from Bianca. She was asking what kind of experiments are going on in California in the Fresno area. She can hear and feel the vibration whenever it rains, before and after it rains.
There is a healing going on there right now. There is a negative vibration that is trying to bring the people down. There is sound technology there is trying to control the humanity into watching its propaganda. That is there. It is very active. There are some energies there to run certain individuals out of that part of California, but not everyone, just certain ones. Those that are not with your elites, those that are against your elites. There is like a small war going on there, in some regard, a small one, where some are, this will never be seen in your public eye, but those of high wealth are fighting with others at this time. And they're using technology to do so, to fight each other off at this time. It is affecting others, but not in a negative way, but there is a vibration there that is not right. It would never be understood in your society, that's for sure. I'll leave you with that.
Thank you, Sid. I pass on the mic. Blessings to you.
Okay, Jeff, you're next.
All right, thank you. Hi, Sid. Thank you for being here tonight. So I've been told that I've had previous lives where I have spent time in crystal cities, and I guess I was wondering if you could tell me any more about that.
This was not the same city as I am on. I do not believe. This is a. I do not believe this is on Sirius B. This is a. I believe it's a Palladian world. They have crystal cities. They're different than ours. I believe so. These cities are. You can say they grow cities there. They grow crystals there, I should say. They do that on Sirius B, but this is different. These are crystals that are taken to other worlds, such as your Atlantis. Not exactly, but they are taken to worlds to power cities and to power ships. The crystal cities in our world are just cities for us to live in and to keep the vibration of our planet at a high vibration. And there's much more to it than that. But for yours is like in some ways like an engineering city, where it is manufacturing these crystals to assist with ships. Much of it goes through Orion, but it's not like you see here as for factories and things of that sort. They're given as gifts. They're to bring much positive energies where they've had reptilian energies that were not so friendly. They were brought to worlds to clear out negativity. But this crystal city, is like a worker city, but it is a very joyful, it's a very happy place where they're making these crystals out of love, and this love is assisting others in their ascension process. That is all I have for that.
Okay, thank you. And then one more. Do you have any messages for me?
Not at this time, but your guides say they have messages, but they're not appropriate at this time. Not say they're negative, but it is not. They're not ready to be heard at this time.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, Michelle, you're next.
Hi, Sid. How are you?
Thank you. I am doing well.
Beautiful to share your energy today. I was reflecting when I was listening to introduce yourself and your introduction about the feeling I get, which is somewhat overwhelming when I encounter negative energy or angry energy, and how I've been very protective and kind and generous by allowing myself to be responsible for my space and the energy that comes into my space. So I wondered actually if that had anything to do with a connection to being serious, or if that's just a general need for people to steer clear of those things. Why am I so sensitive? I guess I was wondering, why have I always been so sensitive to this kind of energy? It seems
to serious energy?
No, to angry energy.
Oh,
like
energy?
when you
Yes,
introduced
I
yourself,
understand.
you
Yes.
said that you needed, like, you also were very sensitive to it. So I
Yes,
wondered
yes.
if it was related in any way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, you've had many lifetimes where you were just did not need negative energy around you. It was just because with positive you can do so much with it. Of course, negative is a test.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it gets overbearing. Some handle it better than others. Some send it out better than others, as you noticed. They're very good at that, aren't they? So yes, because you were mentioning that, it's like, I wonder if you were feeling this towards Sirians in some way, that they were being, but I understand now what you're speaking about. But yes, it is a sensitivity because you're around this type of high vibration all the time, around love all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come into this world, it is just What am I doing here? Is like a blanket of wrong.
Yes. That is so excellent, by the way.
Yes. This place is... I didn't have not a carnation on this planet because of that. I cannot handle this.
That is,
Yeah, it is
possibly the best description of the feeling ever. But I'm curious to know if that is just a general spirit realm issue, or is that any relation to you? It is my understanding that I have a lot of connection to Sirius, but I don't know if that is true. Is that in
Oh,
fact
yes. Part of a positive energy field, part of positive connections, constantly positive families, without this drama you have on your planet. The reason you're feeling this is, now in your spirit world, you are, yes, in some ways the same. But in your spirit world, say like you have a lot of lifetimes in your spirit world, and then you reincarnate here. A lot of that negative energy, and it depends, everyone's different. It will adapt onto you slowly, take you over, make you more depressed. But when you are sensitive, of course that's always, this can go all over the place if I'm going into this detail. But when you are part of a world, yes, you think your other side would be, the other side is different. The spirit world is so much different. When you have all these incarnations, especially in Sirius, with positive energies around you all the time, where you become very sensitive because your energy field, you are vibrating so much and giving and receiving so much. Just, you never have a problem doing that. And you can say on your other side, you are prepared more for this world. I know that sounds interesting, but sometimes some reincarnate, they haven't been on the other side for very long. They go there just to come here. It's like, how do I get to this Earth, this planet? So when they come to this planet, I'm very sensitive, and now I have all this negativity. I feel like I'm going to explode because I came in unprepared, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's just. It's different. Everyone's different. So now you're becoming attached to your sensitivity now more than ever before, and now you're very sensitive. Now you're reconnecting to your alien connections because you need that alien information to heal this planet. Of course, your other side, your spirit world, you're connecting to that also. But your alien world, you're connecting to because it is more real. You can say your spirit world is. I wouldn't say it's not real, but it is closer to this dimension. Let's put it this way: when you are coming from another planet.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but it just, the sensitivity is just when you start to connect to your sensitive side, your full power. It just becomes very rough around the edges, to be sure.
It's very sharp. Yes. I wanted to also touch on the idea of the crystal cities. I don't know what planet you are from. Could you speak
Sirius
to that?
B.
Sirius B. And you were talking about crystal cities, and I have like really vivid dreams about my apophyllite, like of flying around inside of my crystal, my favorite crystal. I'm just curious about what you get on that.
You do have many lifetimes within Sirius, yes. But this life in your crystal, I believe, is on a Palladian world. A Palladian world that had many felines, many humans, Palladian. But this feline world, so let's go into details of this. It is, yes, you did have flight. You did have, you could say you're part of the crystal people of that planet. You could say like your planes are in your skies, but your crystals did not carry people. Well, sometimes it did. It carried one person, and sometimes several. It all depends. There's different types. But those were always flying in their skies to bring a higher vibration, to let them know, because this world was kind of dense. It was kind of a fourth density, sometimes leaning into the third density at times, which is not exactly an easy world. But you were part of a species of Palladian that was, and Sirian. You had a little bit of both the DNA at the time, assisting with bringing the vibration up on this planet. So you see these crystals in the sky. It was assisting with the Earth's vibration. You can say when you see, how do you say, like a rainbow, something in your sky, a great storm cloud that's very beautiful, not exactly scary, but beautiful. You can say these crystals were the same way. They're very beautiful. They brought positive messages to those on the planet, on the surface, that had a lot of questions in their mind of their reality, what they wanted. Very diverse. That is all I have for that. Is there any other questions? I must be leaving soon.
Yes, there's another question from Chris. Chris, she wants to know, she's wondering about her past life in Egypt, and if there's any messages from her guides.
Messages from your guides will be easier. Your Egypt lifetimes are not being revealed at this time. The messages from your guides, patience. Patience is much needed. One moment. That is all you have to say. Interesting. That is all. They want to make themselves queer. That is one way of doing it.
Okay, next question I have is from Amy. Her question is, I'm very active in my sleep, vocally, laughing, etc. Could you shed some light on what it is I'm doing in my sleep?
Reconnecting to yourself. You've been disconnected from yourself for quite some time, apparently. You're reconnecting to yourself. Sometimes it's hard to sleep. You're getting to know yourself more. There is creativity there that is in movement. A new you in the movement. A new way of thinking in movement. Also, your other aspects are gathering much information into you at this time. It is quite fascinating. Many are working at once to improve your situation at this time. You have the ability, just you did not give you the power to do so. And now we see that you are doing so now. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Does Amy want to ask her question now, or do you want to wait?
Joe, I would like to ask a really quick question.
All right.
Sirian, with regard to my son, this
Yes.
is Michelle.
Yes.
I would like to know his percentage of Sirian in his tribrid experiment.
20% at this time.
Thank you very much. Much love.
Much love.
Okay, MT, you're next.
I just wanted to know what entities are around me at this time.
Zeta Gray, 2 of them. A large Weirin at this time, very, very happy because you're going in a positive direction. You are knowing more of yourself. That is fascinating. One moment. Two Pleiadians that know you in other lifetimes are there assisting you also to help you go into a new way of looking at things. You're aware of this new body, you can say, a body of information that is coming through. I believe, one moment. Oh yes, they do. Your Pleiadians do have messages for you. I believe there was 2 times in your past where you were abducted. We think you were. They want to say during your teenage years you had lost time, but it was not a negative. The Pleiadians were a part of that because they were setting you up. I wouldn't say setting you up, but they were letting you know of your plan. They were reminding you of your soul path. Because there are times when you forgot and became very depressed. I'm not sure if you resonate with this. There's a time of depression. Yes, there's a time of depression, and they were there to remind you why you were here, because you had trouble remembering because of this environment. It was not right. It did not feel right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Sid. Much love.
Thank you. Much love.
Have a night.
Okay, next question I have is from Hunter. He would like to know, who is it I keep seeing in my room when I wake up, and can I have some assistance with my lucid dreaming?
Assistance, yes. The Palladians will assist you with this. Arcturians they say they're busy right now. That's very interesting. But your Palladians that you knew in other lifetimes, there's 2 of them, Blue Palladian. They are assisting you at this time in your room. As for your... I already lost track. What was the beginning part of that question, please?
Yes, one moment. Okay. Well, I'll just repeat the question. Who is it I keep seeing in my room when I wake up, and can I have some assistance with the lucid dreaming?
Assistance, yes. Well, they're doing both. They're assisting you, and they're the ones in your room. They do not say why they're there. They are there for your ascension process. The Arcturians they were there for a while, but they have moved out of the area because their work is done. But Palladians are going to be assisting you at this time. And insectoids also, I believe you're aware of this, but that is in a positive way. Did you have many past lives with them? And they're there to remind you of where you come from. That's all I have.
Okay, Emmy, are you ready to ask your question? If not, I don't see any other questions.
Yes, I have time for one more.
Yes, I was wondering if you could send me some of your Sirian energies.
Yes, I'll send you all my energies.
And I'd also like some Syrian advice or recommendation. And that is all.
One moment. Only just when I believe you already know this, but when you are assisting others with healing to protect yourself, to surround yourself with white light, to pray would help also in your healing. You can ask Jesus for assistance also. Use the Christ energy to heal others. He is giving you permission to do so. He would have done that anyway. But to make you aware of knowing Christ's energy can be used to heal others.
Okay.
And
That
this
sounds
is
great.
for you and others. This is for everyone that does heal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I must go now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings. Oh, this has been
Thank you.
exciting. Much love to you all. Hello. That was different. I can breathe. That's different.
Beautiful.
So how'd that feel?
Yeah, it was nice. It was, especially after the smoke left, that really helped.
By the way, you totally win the prize for the best smoke fest ever.
Hey, look, he's channeling his room's on fire. There you go. It wasn't on fire, just you have to put special effects in here every once in a while to give him his attention. So, yeah,
Most excellent.
thank you. Yeah, if somebody would like to do a blessing to head us out, if that's okay. Anyone?
I can do galactic language.
Okay.
Blessing. Okay. Blessings to all.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Michael? Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
That was great. All right, much love, everyone, and